What's up, everyone? What is going on? Happy Sunday. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to change people's lives. And people are like, it's Sunday. You're changing people's lives. I change people's lives every day because you know what? Life's too short. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I'd come on today and talk to you guys about moving on. Moving on from everything that you know. In my opinion, I hear people's thoughts every single day, and what they show me and tell me is their limitations, right? They continue to prove to me that they limit themselves so much because they're so afraid of moving on from complaining. They're afraid to move on from what they tell themselves every single day, whether that's I don't have enough, whether that's a mindset of I lack love in my life because they don't love themselves. It comes from so many things, right? But I think the biggest thing is that it comes from two places. One is you have been brainwashed by either a mentor, someone in school, a parent, family, etc., or you've brainwashed yourself. You have literally told yourself so many times that you're not worth it, that you are, let's say you were overweight like I once was at 300 pounds, right? And you just kept telling yourself and telling yourself and telling yourself that you're overweight, that weight means everything, that if I'm this much weight, then that means I've failed. Or if I'm this much weight, it means that I'm never going to be enough, or that I'm not worthy, or what have you, right? So you've kind of played this tape in your head that says, it's almost like a thermostat, right? People talk about this whole thermostat analogy. I'm just using it as a term of, you keep telling yourself the same thing, it's going to continue to be the same for your life, right? So it's like saying, I don't know how to eat, or I don't know what's good for me. Well, you keep telling yourself that, you're going to believe it. It's like telling yourself, I'm not good with money. Well, you keep telling yourself, this is something that I used to tell myself all the time. I'm not good with money. I don't know how to use money. Guess what? I told myself that enough that I was so insecure around finances. And then when I started telling myself, and I started just learning, and I started taking the responsibility back into my own hands, that's when I started to go, oh my gosh. When I started to just go, I need to learn everything I need to know about nutrition, when I started to just get mentored, and when I started to learn, and when I started to actually get the education versus just listening to trends and versus just listening to what other people were telling me, to me, now in my life, I can start to go, that sounds like I can hear it. And with my own discernment, I go, something about that doesn't feel right. So I'm not going to do it, right? But the problem is that so many people listen to so many outside sources. And when you listen to, this is what I've learned, when you listen to too many people, and when you get too many opinions on things in life, it actually screws you up. And why? It's because you don't trust yourself enough to go, this is the person that I know I need to trust on this topic, or this is the person that I know I need to trust on, where they've gone clearly is successful, so I need to follow their footsteps or their guidance or what have you, right? But I think what happens is that so many of us, we are asking for too many opinions. We're asking for so much advice that you almost don't know where to turn, right? Pardon me. So the reason why I say to move on is because the more you start to just gain your own innate intelligence, and when you start to just kind of like trust yourself, you start to know who to turn to. You start to realize that it's okay to trust yourself. You start to realize that it's okay to be free, if you used to be, let's say you were overweight when you were in high school, right? Which I think so many of us were, right? Let's be honest. And you keep on telling yourself that you're that 100-pound overweight person, right? When you're not, right? You know deep down you're not, but you have brainwashed yourself to thinking that you are. Same way as when you are, let's say you're in school and someone says to you, money is the root of all evil, or a parent tells you money is the root of all evil, right? When someone tells you things like that and you believe it, you start to look at ways to confirm it, right? That's literally what happens, is that your body kind of goes into this self-preservation mode of, oh, when I watch the porn or when I watch this, I feel safe because that's what I know, that's what I've learned. It's a habit that I've created to keep me locked into this system of, and guys, I've actually been like really learning about this idea of dopamine and how detrimental it is to get these constant dopamine hits. What do I mean by that? Your reward system, right? You do something and then you think, oh, I deserve a reward. And you know what the biggest one is right now for dopamine? It's social media. People are just scrolling. They're waiting for something to it's like all these reels. That's why I'm very thoughtful on, and this is just something that I've learned. It's like I'm very thoughtful on my time that I'm on social media. If I am, and I'm not on a lot, I'm only on YouTube, but the times that I am on YouTube or anything, I'm very, very cognizant of like, okay, I'm giving myself 15 to 20 minutes to like look at this or listen or research or what have you. But then the other part of that is reading, or it's what, you know what I mean? So I really do believe that our dopamine hit, if it's not sugar and alcohol or pornography for a lot of people, it's the social media for 90% of the community and 90% of our society right now. And the reason why is because people don't want to go inward. They're so afraid of looking at themselves and moving on in life and actually gaining so much more, to me. So you're gaining so much more knowledge when you actually just go, yeah, that's not where I want to be anymore. Or like, so many people get overwhelmed. Truly, so many people get so overwhelmed because they are actively putting their attention on things that I'm like, you know, if you had just invested more time in your own education or in your own business, right, then what would happen is like massive change, right? But the problem is that we've become so scared to take a chance on ourselves. People have become so scared of the norm, the norm for most people is, oh, I need to watch the TV because I need to distract myself because I deserve a time to just sit and do nothing. And it's like, yes, that's great, but don't complain when you are stuck, right? So many people say, oh, I feel stuck. It's like, well, why do you feel stuck? Do you feel stuck because you get in your own way and you sabotage? Guys, I can't tell you how many people sabotage themselves on a daily basis. It's bad. It is so bad. So many people that I like, clients that I work with every single day, that they are seeing amazing results, but they get into this, all they think about is weight loss, or they get into this mindset of just like, if I don't lose weight, if I can't lose weight, then I forget it. I give up. And it's like, wait a second. Can you look at the past 3 months and what you've done and the things that you've healed, right? And all you can focus on is this little piece right here. Do you hear that in yourself? It's because you are so focused on the lack, right? On the thing that's not working yet, or that has always been an issue for you right here, right? So many people do not understand that the reason why they're stuck is actually themselves, at least from what I can see, right? You get in your own way because you think you know better, or you get in your own way because the especially weight loss industry, right? You guys have all been manipulated to thinking that I need to restrict, or I need to fast, or I need to whatever. And like you've been tricked and trained to thinking that weight loss is the only thing that matters. And so your focus then is on the loss, right? If you're only focused on the loss, it's like, again, that quote of energy goes where attention, or energy flows where attention goes. That whole quote, it's so valid. If you're only focused on one aspect of health, that one aspect of health is going to literally lead your entire life. So what I tell you to do and what I say is question yourself, right? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to what I tell you. Listen to yourself. Listen to the stories that you have been telling yourself for literally your entire life. Ask yourself questions. Why am I thinking that my body doesn't work right? Or why am I thinking that I need to lose weight? Is it because do I need to lose weight? Do I actually? Your body will tell you, like, yeah, you might need to, like, work out a few more times a week or what have you, or or you might need to like ask for help. You might need to hire a coach. My point is, we have gotten so unconscious. I just talked to somebody the other day, and guys, I'm all about AI and using AI for certain things, but when you use AI and it makes you so unconscious in life, that's where I disagree with it, right? So many people want quick fixes. They don't want to do the work that it takes, because guys, guess what? Being healthy is work. And if you can't get that through your skull, then you are thick-headed and no one will be able to help you, not even yourself, because you need to realize that you don't go from point A to point B without a little bit of hard work, right? And consistency. And that consistency is you getting in your own way and sabotaging yourself. So you need to move on from this whole idea that, oh, if I can't get that quick fix and that dopamine hit, if I can't get that within 30 days, then I give up. It's not how it works, right? It's like people who preserve wealth, or it's like people who, over the span of 20 years, they go from a house that's a fixer-upper to a house that's gorgeous, right? That happens over the span of time. Health is the same way. It's the same way. Just like your mindset, you train your mind, you can retrain your mind from one of lack and one of being poor and what have you, to one of being rich and abundant. But that takes time. It takes training. But I think so many people are still stuck in this place of, I'm not allowed to move on because I've told myself for 20 years that I am a victim. I sabotage myself. I tell myself that I don't deserve to be loved. I tell myself that I don't deserve. So I hate to tell you all, but it's your fault. Your life right now, up to this point, it's your fault. No one else's. It's your fault. So as much as that might suck to hear, it's true. Because I did it. I used to tell myself all the time, I'm a victim to my reality. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to be wealthy. I don't deserve to not live paycheck to paycheck. And I just kept saying the same story over and over and over and over again, until one day I was like, I'm so sick and tired of living like this, right? You need to move on. You do. Not me, right? Unless I want to change something for myself. But you need to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself questions. Why do I do X? Why do I spend so much money? Why do I XYZ? Why am I addicted to porn? Why am I addicted to alcohol? Why am I addicted to the social media? What is it outside of yourself, right, that is causing you to not move forward in life and to be quote unquote stuck? I truly believe you are stuck because you keep sabotaging the most root essence of who you are, because you haven't done any work to know this is who I am. And yes, I have a couple things here and there that I need to just come to terms with. I have a couple things here and there that I still get trapped in. And I think when you know that you get trapped into it is when you can become the most aware of it. But until that happens, you guys, you're not moving forward because you think you know better, right? If there's one thing that I have, again, seen in practice, it's the level of pride that people have in thinking that they know everything, right? You don't know it all. You never will know it all. And you need to get over yourself, because if you're always in the space of, oh, well, I know X or I know Y, so I don't need to keep learning, it's like you have just done yourself a complete disservice. If you're not learning every single day every single day, every single week, if you're not learning about your financial well-being, your health well-being, your relationship with yourself and with other people's well-being, like if you're not constantly like trying to do better, in my opinion, and learn, you have just done yourself a disservice, because there is so much to learn about yourself. And in my opinion, that's where you start. You start with you, because so many people, I see it again all the time, they're being a version of themselves to 17 different people, to every person in their life, as opposed to going, no, this is just who I am, right? And until you get secure with who you are, you're not going to see the transformation happen, because you're so afraid of owning these most crucial parts of yourself, right? Setting that foundation. The reason why I think we're so weak right now in our country is because people are so unconscious of who they are. They don't know who they are. They're afraid to admit that this person doesn't work for them anymore. They're afraid to move on from friendships because they don't realize friendships grow and evolve and also dissipate over time. And that's okay. people think that like if I'm not friends with this person, or if I'm not, stuck with these people all the time, and if I'm not always trying to make this work, friendships come and go. It's okay. I think we're just taught like, nope, you need to be with this person. Sometimes it just, I will tell you, and it sucks. I'm not saying it doesn't suck, but people last in your lifetime for seasons, right? Like I've had friends for 15 to 20 years, and then I don't see them for 5, but then I see them, and then they kind of come back into my life. It's like, if you kind of let the cycle of life just happen and you learn from it and you go, oh my gosh, I remember why. And then, you'll hear stories from people that go, yeah, the reason why was because I had a huge major meltdown and I needed to just take time to myself and just like do me and what have you. Most people will go, I had that time too. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like sometimes you just don't even want friends. You just want to like live and be by yourself and what have you, right? So again, it's like this essence of like people are stuck in life because they aren't listening to what they need. Like they're not listening to themselves, right? You have become so distant from what you actually are that in order to move on, sometimes you need to make choices to move on from that client, or maybe you're not friends with that person anymore. Maybe they are just more of a work relationship, and that's okay. But you need to just own, yeah, that person doesn't really work for me right now. Like I need to move on. Or, okay, I'm ready to invest in being loving or loved by another, right? Like, or right now I'm just in this season of building business and I'm okay with that. And it is what it is, right? But I think so many people get stuck, and I say it generally because everyone's different, but in a general circumstance, I think people just get so stuck in their ways of they did this in their 20s. So now that they're in their 30s, they're like, wait, why isn't this working? Well, it's not working anymore because that's not who you are. And when you discover who you are, because you're doing the inner work, again, I believe inner reflects outer. So if you're in this inner state of I need attention, well, you might get attention, but is it from the right people, right? You might be in this place of trying to figure out what you want to do. And if you have that inner conflict because you're not doing the work on what it is that you want to do, well, you're going to kind of feel stuck, right? Because to me, chaos kind of has to happen before the resolution, right? And so many people are afraid of conflict, which is another very, very bad, in my opinion, very bad mindset to be in, because you need conflict to have resolution. You need conflict to find peace, and you need like there is power in conflict. And I think people just miss that, right? So my point in saying move on is you need to move on from who you were to be who you want to be. And that will take time. Don't think that you have to do this all in 1 week or all in 1 month, because so many people that do all this work they get very overwhelmed and stressed. And it's because you are doing something massively different. So take small steps, be easy on yourself, and allow yourself the ability to move from point A to point B in a slow, controlled fashion, because nothing good to me has ever come. Some things come quickly, but typically slow, good progress is always going to be where your foundation and your success goes skyrocket. People have asked me, oh my gosh, like, how did you get from here to here? I'm like, it took me 3 years of sacrifice, and well, actually 5 years of sacrifice, but also 5 years of like being basically in the dirt and just like, like army crawling, right? Like I literally was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. Like the things that were going on in my brain, I didn't know. It was tough. And, some people find success in business and they find it they see massive growth in a year. For me, that's just never happened. I've always been a slow and steady, and the slow and steady has always worked for me because I like to build those foundations. I like to build rapport. I like to learn about myself in this time, because in the time of learning about myself, I've learned such crucial lessons in business and such crucial lessons in knowing about myself. So I think the more that we all can move on from this mentality of, oh, I need to know everything, versus people are here and I can learn from everybody. And I think the more that we all know that we can learn from all people and everyone, the more you're going to see massive change in your life. So I hope this helps you. Please let us know if we can help with your health, with your mindset, because a lot of health and a lot of growing in life to me comes from having a coach. I've had coaches, I still have coaches, and I think it's very important to have people that can coach you and can get you out of your comfort zone and continue to do that, because mental is always going to come first, in my opinion, to any of this, right? To healing properly, to moving forward, and to gaining self-preservation and self-security in moving forward to where we're going in a whole new level of consciousness and vibration. So definitely reach out, honoryourhealth.life. We would love to help you reach new levels in your life and gain so much security in yourself, because at the end of the day, when you have security in yourself, you will always have you won't need external validation to feel complete and whole, right? Holistic health, in my opinion, right? Holistic health is truly being whole in yourself first, and then moving forward nutritionally, mentally, physically, etc. There is a system to that, right? So just be well and know that you actually have way more power than you think you do. You have way more abundance than you think you do. And remember, if you're focused on lack, you're probably going to have lack. If you focus on abundance and opportunity, you're probably going to start seeing that, right? So just make sure this is dialed in. Make sure that if you need help, that you reach out. And if it's not to me or my assistant, and because she'll be practicing too, if it's not to us, we understand, right? We're not for everyone, and we know that. So if it's not somebody, if you need help in finding someone that's for you, we can actually do that. So just let us know. There's tons of people around the country that can help you and that want to help. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.